Welcome. It's Alicia McPeek and my brother, Zach Marcy. Say hi, Zach.
What's up, guys?
All right. So we were just having a conversation. And so we thought we'd come have a conversation here with you. So what's the first question, Zach?
Actually, first question is, have you ever had a bad pizza? And it's funny, Alicia and I were talking about whether or not, backstory. You guys got to tell me, have you ever had a bad pizza? And if so, where do you stay away from? And if not, why? I'll tell my opinion, Alicia, you tell your opinion. Because here's the thing, inside of this program, we save up certain moments where we can go and enjoy certain meals. Obviously, you can't eat it all the time, or else you're going to wind up fat, sick, unhealthy, like Alicia and I both ended up when we were overindulging in wonderful, amazing things like pizza. But, one of the hardest points is when you save up, let's say that you're just doing one meal a week, like that's your path, right? And you save up all those calories for that moment, and then the meal stinks. Well, I went and had one of those buffet pizzas once.
Oh, yuck.
I'm not going to name it. I won't name it, but I could not find a single slice that I enjoyed. And it was the biggest waste of saving up all of these calories and one of the biggest letdowns. And for the first time in my life, I had bad pizza and it was not worth it. And I really wish I would have been a lot better off just going and ordering, what's the cheap pizza now? I think it's Little Caesars or
yeah.
Little Caesars. A lot better off just going and getting that.
I actually don't think there's that wrong with Little Caesars, but I'll tell you that when you have done that, I feel like, okay, wait, I got cheated. I get another one, right? I get another chance to have the same my meal of opportunity.
Yes. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if those calories didn't count if the meal sucked?
Wouldn't that be so cool?
But it's not true, right? We have to own it.
Right.
In fact, that's one of the hardest.
So the moral of the story?
My young children right now,
But do you still eat pizza? I mean, I like regular old, gluten-filled, gooey cheese.
I love
commercial pizza.
I have to go long periods of time of being very, very healthy to be able to have a couple of slices. And it's like every 3 to 6 months, because I cannot do it. I can't do gluten on consecutive days. Or especially consecutive meals in the same day. That's even worse.
So can we talk about that for a second? Because I know we got something else to talk about here, but there's something really important in that, because there's a couple aspects here for me, but I'm gonna try to stick to just one of them when it comes to that, because a lot of this goes along with metabolic healing, with a metabolic way of eating and a metabolic lifestyle, which is what we're all talking about here. Don't forget, it's midlife mastery of your metabolism, right? So when we're talking about that, we've done a lot of damage over time. And I remember having pizza every Friday with my girls. Like, it's Friday night, we get pizza. And every time I eat it, and my stomach would hurt. And I would forget between Friday and the next Friday, I eat again. My stomach hurt.
So good.
And then finally I was like, dang it, why do I keep, so I remember to not eat pizza. But then I did do a lot of healing, right? And then I could have pizza every now and then without it causing the same effects. And there is truth to this when you do go the distance that it takes. And that's going to tie into the next thing we're going to talk about. I feel like you can get to the place where your body can handle these things. And that I'm going to make an exception. Our mother has celiac disease, and that would be an exception. She really will get really sick and be sick for days by eating gluten. But because we started earlier and knew the process or the prospect of what could happen to us, I feel like I think I have, Zach, and it sounds like you have too. We didn't get down to the point where we ended up with celiac disease, even though we had a 50% chance of getting it. So instead, we have a sensitivity. But when your body is doing the things that it needs to do and running optimally, you can have pizza every so now and again, I feel like most people. And that's been my experience anyway.
And that's a thing that, one of the hardest considerations that Alicia and I always have to consider when we're putting together programs is how restrictive versus how effective, because there is a happy medium in between there. And the honest truth is, the more clean and healthy and micronutrient and healing you can eat for a prolonged period of time,
Yes.
the better off you're going to be.
Right.
But we've been programmed that this is extreme, it's restrictive. I'm going to die because I can't have my wine and my cheese and my bread and all of these things that are actually robbing you of your life. But at the same time, everyone around you seems to be doing it and be ill affected, which isn't true. I've been behind the confessional wall with way too many people. Remind me to tell you the story of the guy that I used to watch eat Chipotle and what was it? What's the other one that's there in Texas? The big burrito, Freebird's burritos.
Neither one of those places are that good, I don't think.
Dude,
speaking of bad tacos, there we go. Bad burritos.
I had a Chipotle burrito just this last weekend.
Did you?
Worth it.
Not a fan
Absolutely
to me. Okay.
worth it. No, man, I love Chipotle. Anyway, that's my pizza, to be honest. And actually,
it's tacos or noodles for me. Is it tacos or pizza? Drop it down below. Let us know.
Or Chipotle burritos. What's wrong with you?
Well,
you gotta put Chipotle in there too. Making faces about it too. You look like my daughter. Jordana was like that, and I'm like, dude, it's Father's Day. I'm eating a burrito. Like how is it you get a vote when it's Father's Day? You get a vote.
No, you don't get to vote when it's Father's Day unless you're
4 days a year. Actually, we usually just do what you want to do. This one day of the 365. Actually, it's 2. My birthday as well. But how is this going over poorly? Anyway, that's sorry. Funny. I had a guy that he would eat those every day, and I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, that was his go-to every day. You would get, one of the double ones, and I'd be like, dude, how is your stomach not messing with you? No, I got a stomach of steel. And a few months later, I caught him. He's popping this pill, and I'm like, what are you using? Prilosec. I'm like, no,
stomach of steel, huh?
Not a stomach of steel. You're using drugs to treat your stomach. Yeah, I got really bad acid reflux. And I'm like, why you stop eating Chipotle burritos every damn day?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, but that becomes normalized. And here's the thing, guys, it isn't normal. I just had a client today, and we're working on getting his sorry, my phone keeps blowing up, so I keep getting distracted. The reason why I had a client today who we are backing off of diabetic medication, getting him under the obese mark, which is 30 plus pounds overweight, guys, and working him through just a set of specific behaviors that are leading to getting his numbers down so he can rescue his health. He's in his 50s, he's morbidly obese, and he suddenly went in for blood work today. His diabetes numbers, he had dropped 2 points, 2 solid points on his A1C, that's a big move.
Just huge, huge.
Move. And it was mainly just getting carbs really truly getting his carbohydrate intake under control, eating more veggies as opposed to the typical Latin American diet of rice and beans,
right?
And
tortillas.
Tortillas, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But his thing was, suddenly the doctor wants to get him on cholesterol medication, and he's like, dude, like, this would be my 6th medication I'd be taking right now.
And he's 50 something.
54.
Wow.
54.
That's my age. I'm 54.
Yeah. So, and I'm plugging through all this. I go, listen, man, it's time that instead of kind of like playing like you're taking this serious, let's do this 110%. Like, let's go a little bit more aggressive here. And it's the weekends that get him. And, he's got a really cool social life, party lifestyle where his family and his friends are just the life of the party. He's a fun guy. Like it's created this entire like social thing around
Right.
him, but it's literally led him down this path where he does great during the week. The weekend comes, he gets pulled off track, and then by Monday he's got food and alcohol hangover from just kind of
Mm,
overdoing it for so many years.
yeah.
And his numbers, although have been improving, his weight has been improving, it isn't enough to really move the needle. So the whole point of sharing this is somehow, some way, sick care is becoming normalized.
Yes.
This is, like it's not something to celebrate when a medication has you being able to sustain bad habits. It's more, hey, you know what? Let's create good habits, get off the medication, extend our life, and not have all of these issues pop up and have to be treated with drugs.
Right. So, hey, Mick, is it tacos or pizza for you? Drop it down below. Or have you ever had a bad
Or
pizza?
alcohol. That's another one of those things for
Yeah.
people is alcohol.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But
What do you mean I can't drink for a week? What do you mean I need to stop drinking for 4 weeks?
I mean, the truth is, guys, you really, really can overdo it. And that's what you're talking about with this client of yours, especially after 40 and 50, because you've already you've had the party life for this many years and your body, it just catches up with you. Your body can't handle it, but you can help your body have the, what's the word? I'm gonna say just
Resilience.
ability, but that's it, the resilience to be
Resilience.
able to handle more. And so let's go on to the next part of that, because we were having a conversation beforehand and we were we're already talking about we keep talking about how to make this program where you get the biggest wins, but it's the simplest it possibly could be, something that's you can really sustain and do for the long haul. And we started talking about the compound effect, which I don't know if any of you guys know Darren Hardy, but one of the biggest impacts that's ever had on me, because I even remember before I read that book when we were in the gym, or even when I was learning nutrition and personal training, you would find out like, okay, so if you just drink one Coke a day for a year, you've gained 15 pounds, most likely, not maybe more. It could be up to 35 pounds, one Coke a day. So small, teeny, tiny, little insignificant things add up over time. Seemingly insignificant things add up over time. But the truth is the reverse of that is true as well. And I know on my health journey, I got better and better and better and better the more changes that I made that became a part of who I was. And as I mentioned, my body also has become more resilient over time, where I didn't have instant effects. Like I didn't have instant stomach aches. I didn't have big food hangovers, and I didn't have the same digestive issues and things like that over time, because your body's getting nourished the way that it needs to get nourished. It should be resilient. I also talk about stress all the time. Our body should be able to handle stress. Why is everybody anxiety ridden, depressed, and they can't handle stress? The biggest reason is their body hasn't been nourished properly for the long haul, and it can't handle our life. Now, there may be other factors. I am being broad in general, but the biggest point we're trying to make here is that the small, seemingly insignificant changes make a big impact over time, but the reverse is true as well. What would you like to say about that?
So here's the thing, guys, and you know, we get caught up in our everyday life, and we get into, Alicia was talking about the ruts and the patterns. We get caught up in these ruts and patterns, and as they start happening, we lose sight of what's really truly going on. And having a Coke a day seems insignificant. Not getting to sleep at a certain time seems insignificant. Not overdoing it and having like 4 cups of coffee a day seems insignificant, until something starts to break and you turn around and you realize that you have done all of these insignificances to the point where you're fat, sick, unhealthy on 5 medications and don't really have a path of where to go and what to do. And
Well,
this gives us the opportunity to understand and analyze that the momentum will shift in both directions at every time. So we can't fake or faint like we don't know anymore. In fact, what we need to do is start taking ownership over it and forge through this more often. And that's what this whole process of the compounding effect, it really kind of brings to light and understanding for all of us is momentum will happen no matter what. You choose it. You choose it, and make sure that you are 1% better personally, professionally, physically, and psychologically in every day with a purpose. And it doesn't really take you doing these humongous Herculean feats of huge restriction for prolonged periods of time. It's just doing some ideal tweaks for a prolonged period of time that suddenly compound into humongous results parlayed over time.
Exactly. And for some reason in this area of fat loss and fitness, everybody wants instant gratification, instant success, right? And they what happens to most people is they go all in for short periods of time, rebound, try to do it again, and do this many times over many years. And by the time you get to 40 or 50, you're exhausted from it. And you know what? You don't have the willpower to do it anymore, because that kind of effort is pure willpower.
Yep.
And you don't have an unlimited amount of willpower. And that was my biggest frustration along the way when I've been helping clients is everybody wants an instant change, but the instant changes aren't sustainable.
As Ronnie Coleman says, everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but ain't nobody want to lift no heavy ass weight.
Yeah, there you go.
Essentially, guys, something needs a change. Like sit with that for a minute. Something has to change. I'll never forget. There was a podcast and Bryn Burchard, another guy that I'm incredibly high on. Mm-hmm. He's a high performance coach, and I worked with him for over a year. I remember this podcast he had, and he goes, at this point in time, with you as an adult and a self-proclaimed high achiever, for you to still think and wish that things are different from they actually are is an infantile behavior. You have to change your eating patterns. You need to be more healthy. You know that you need to get to sleep on time. Every day, like even if you're in traffic and you're whining about it, you're going to have it. But for you to be getting in traffic and being upset is the akin to you being and participating in being an infant child. And I'm like, holy shnikes, man, this guy is 100% right.
Yep. And you're right. Something has to change, or else, well, it's not going to, this is what I used to tell my clients. And the truth is, it's not going to get better. Yeah. You go another year like this and you're going to be, how much have you gained in the last year? How much have you gained in the last 5 years? How many more medications have you added? How much more tired are you? How much less fun are you having in your life? Because that's just going to continue if you don't make some change. But the big news is, we'll have to pull out the quotes from the examples, but I think he had 2 guys in the compound effect, and one started eating 200 calories more a day, and one started eating 200 calories less. One started reading a page of a self-improvement book a day, and the other kept sitting and watching TV. One started walking, just little tiny, it wasn't big changes. It was really small changes. But a year from now, one was 30 pounds heavier, one was 30 pounds lighter. One had learned enough and had promoted in his job. There was just like these really big impacts that happened. Like you talked about 1% better every day. They're doable, lasting changes. And that's what makes the biggest difference. And that's why I said they're boring and unsexy, because it's not the big splash that gets the true results.
Understand, pairing exactly what Alicia just said with the story I just shared about Brendan and these attitudes.
Yes.
Guys, we're 40 and 50 something. It is that time to stop BSing yourself that it isn't time to take this serious and get it under control, because in all honesty,
it's your responsibility.
You can't bullshit yourself that eating and drinking every weekend is okay in the excessive amounts that you have been. The fact that you are 30 plus pounds overweight, which immediately puts you into a high health risk category, that you're on multiple medications and that you aren't happy, that you're feeling like even your mood is affected, you're feeling depressed and uncomfortable. All of these things are within your control to change, and it's no, like, stop complaining about them because you've done that too long. It's time to act and do something. But you don't have to make these humongous, gigantic, enormous changes, but it is time to make change.
You have to make a move in the right direction.
Actually, that's other thing.
I guess this was Uncomfortable Truth Thursday.
It is. It is. And guys, I really have a hard time holding back in a lot of areas. In this relationship, Alicia has a tendency to be more of the good cop and me the bad cop. But in all honesty, the truth is the truth. And I choose to be a little bit more over the top with it, so it has an impact. But it all comes from love. I want you guys to understand that. I don't want you to be sitting there in this moment in your 60s where your life is completely like robbed from you because you didn't really get the message that we're trying to get across right now.
Exactly.
The barrier to entry of how easy this truly can be is right in front of your face. Guys, you're literally have a really simple program that is absolutely free that you can bring your friends in on. I think we've had like 28 responses so far or something. We have to go, I'd have to go check the group. And we're capping it at 100, guys. And we have a week left in this. So understand, like, this is, because it's free, it's going to fill it fast, so take action now. And I believe Alicia has a link to it somewhere.
I do. Yep, it'll be up here. It'll be down here and up here. Yes, we have links. Just go fill out the form. We'll pop you in the group so you can be ready. Get all the pre stuff done in time as well.
Exactly. And the other thing is, we're going to start leading up to it. We're going to start giving you guys some content and bonuses leading up to it. I'll let you sign us out, Alicia. You got anything?
No, I mean, I think that's really it. This is an area I do have a little trouble holding back into, because I do want people to understand the impact. And it just kind of scares me. You get to this 40 and 50 year age. Not that we've been perfect by any means, but I'm not on 4, 5, or 6 different medications at 54. So, and I don't plan to be at 64, so I feel like I have a jump start, but it's also not too late. I think I have, because I have known about this information my whole life and worked towards it, but it's not too late. You don't have to get sick and old. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. And that's the biggest thing I can say about that. So lose fat, not faith, over 40. And don't forget to join our Midlife Metabolic Accelerator by signing up on the link below or above. All right. See you later.
Wherever it shows up.